days as progressives. We won't be around the table for 7 days, but for 7 days we'll have Passover, and it's the festival of freedom, and yet freedom feels so absent in so many levels for all people caught up with this tragedy, with this awfulness around us. But I'm really holding on to a few things that I hope that we'll stumble upon in these few days before Passover and during Passover. And one of us is, of course, the line from Psalm 118, which is one of the Psalms from Hallel, and Dean and I were only discussing it today. And that line is, Min ha-metza karatiya va'anani b'merchavya. From a narrow place I called to you, and I was answered with wide expansiveness. Now, that is going to mean something different to us at every moment of our life. It's going to mean something different to us every year that we mark Passover and offer those words and think about redemption and freedom, this story that is at the heart of us as Jews, and yet we're going to have strange reactions to it this year. But each of us know the experience. I cannot imagine there is one of us in this room tonight or you at home who have not found themselves in a narrow place and have found some expansiveness following it. So we're just going to hold that, and I'm holding it for you too, Beverly, tonight, and as we light Shabbat candles. Shekidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Shabbat shalom. We're going to go straight to Lecha Dodi. We'll sit down and but of course stand for the final verse. If you want to, you're ready. It's your mincha to do so.
Shabbat
stay standing if that's your custom. Stay standing for the Baruch Hu. We're on page 9. Having welcomed Shabbat, welcomed each other, we now go straight into praying together. Sit down. I think there's a bit of troubleshooting happening now around.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to the sound engineer, please, if he could come over here.
Okay, good. All right. So we'll just give you a moment of pause as I offer the first blessing before the Shema, the blessing that looks at light and shadow, light and darkness in the world around us. But I share, as we sometimes do, the prayer poem written by Rabbi Mark Solomon. And I know Peggy and Alison particularly like it and are with us tonight. You form light and create darkness. As time is a tapestry of day and night, our lives are a weaving of light and dark. Like a slow dawn, we discover who we are. Like twilight, we linger in doubt and anxiety. We endure nights of rejection by others and ourselves, and days and bright days of acceptance and joy in who we are. You make peace and create everything. We look around and see a world of endless change and diversity. As we rejoice in the variety of creation, we come to accept our own uniqueness. As we delight in our own uniqueness, we appreciate all human diversity and live at peace with ourselves and with all creation. Ahavat Olam, you can find on page 11. stay seated or standing, whatever you prefer, for the Shema, our watchword of faith, and just to hear the words before Dean and the band lead us. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Read together in English, page 14, as we hold on to something that feels right and true for us as we offer the Shema. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors, delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. So as we watch wars around us, we offer Hashkivenu tonight. אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל יושבי תבל. I'm going to ask us to stand as we're doing so to be ready for the tefillah. But as we have been doing for the past month, We have been naming 3 or 4 hostages at every Shabbat service. And for many of us, our hearts are breaking for all those who have been caught up, lost their lives in what is going on. We think particularly of the people in Gaza. We think of the Arab Israelis in the West Bank, and we think particularly at this moment of Shabbat, I find my heart breaking as I look at these young people's faces as we name these names and think about their families. So if I can ask you to stand with me as we go into the tefillah, and I just name and just remind us of these particularly 4 families now. Avinatan Or, who was an electrical engineer at the Supernova Festival, who was taken hostage with his girlfriend and is still in captivity at the age of 30. Alon Ohel, 23-year-old, gifted pianist whose mother has been putting on concerts, feels particularly poignant tonight in Resouled, surrounded by these gifted musicians, and his mother has been putting on concerts close to the border. And she talks about hoping that he is able to hear the music and feeling that energetic sense of him through it. Matan Angrest is a soldier who was taken age of 21. And as we are increasingly seeing, the list of these hostages is not necessarily correct. So Guy Iluz, 26-year-old sound man, who has been a sound man for many Israeli rock and rock musicians, but it turns out he is not in captivity, but was killed at the Supernova Festival. So these names we hold in our hearts alongside all those who are in pain, who are mourning, who are grieving, who don't know where to turn to, who have no home. We have acknowledged that our hearts are big enough to hold all of that as we stand here as Jews together on this Shabbat and offer Matir Asurim, may the captives be freed. We're on page 17 as we go into the tefillah. Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. זוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר, מושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. בנאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. קדוש אתה ונורא שמך, בין לנו אלוה מבלעדיך, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Let's sit down for Vashamru. Can't really go on with the Amidah until Paul does that. It's been very uncomfortable on the months that he hasn't been here. Baruch atah Adonai Makadesh et Shabbat. Page 22, let's read together. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel. In your love, accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. And now, just before we offer just the English translation of Modim Anachnu Lach, which of course is just an expression of gratitude in our own lives. So now an opportunity or an invitation to find something that you can feel grateful for, something that enhances your life, no matter the challenges, to be able to hold on to that kavanah, that intention, that recognition in your own reality as I read these words. We thank and praise you for being our God and God of our ancestors. We can always rely on you and feel safe. We thank and praise you for caring for our lives, for connecting our souls with you, for the miracles of life, wonders large and small, that remind us you are here every moment of every day. We praise you, our God, and joyfully thank you for all life's goodness. Our evening prayer for peace. Ata Adonai Oseh HaShalom. Let's take a moment for silent prayer or reflection. Beautiful. Let's stand for Aleinu. We're always reminded Aleinu on page 24 literally means upon us. And as we're sent back out into the world of thinking what our role is, of what our integrity is, of where we are. So as we prepare to go back to our homes, let's sing. we're standing, we remain so for Kaddish and are thinking of those in our own congregation who are mourning and remembering a loved one. We think particularly this Shabbat of Charles Rappaport, father of Anne Andrews, of Marion Siegel, mother of Joyce Lucas, of Maury Barnett, father of Paul Barnett, of Peter Liepman, brother of Sheila Lyon, and Sandro Corrado Polacco, who was Renzo Fantoni's father. Stina Wolf, who was great aunt of Barry Kafka, which makes her great aunt of Natasha Kafka. May their memories be for a blessing. May all those who recall and remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss as we, their congregation, stand together and offer Kaddish with them. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shamei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirutei bi'amlich malchutei, Machadhon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, Magala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mavorach le'olam al maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ah v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'Kudusha brichu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya. V'hayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru Amen. Ose shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol b'nei Adam. V'imru Amen. So let's sit down, and before we get blessed by Dean, the melody that he created for Yevarechecha, the blessing that we all offer on a Friday night, whether we're blessed by parents, we bless children, we bless each other, here in the congregation, that we bring blessing and graciousness, kindness and tenderness into our congregation. Just a reminder that tomorrow was the day that we had invited to be open, for our congregation to be open tomorrow morning for all those friends of congregants, perhaps folk in the near neighborhood. This is a strange time to reach out to a synagogue, but we're going to be open tomorrow. We're going to be open for conversations about what it means to be Jewish, about how to make Passover, Pesach, Seder meaningful. So anytime our morning service is early, 9:45 to 10:45, Shabbat Hagadol, the last Shabbat before Pesach. The children will be having a chocolate Seder. They'll be making matzah. They are making matzah covers. That is, if they still have the energy to be able to sit on the chair after the chocolate Seder. And we adults will be talking about all of this and really preparing ourselves for Monday and Tuesday night. So 9:45, remember the service early, and then we'll be going from 11 o'clock through to 2, or whenever anyone feels ready to leave. We'll have lunch. So that is happening tomorrow. We don't normally have announcements on Friday night, but I really want to. There are lots of different services, Pesach services, end of Pesach, but I really want to highlight the very special concert that we are having in honor, being put on by G2G, Generation to Generation, one of our High Holy Day charities. Its founder member, Leslie, one of our members, a member on council. This will be our moment for Yom HaShoah this year with music. We're doing it with Kingston Liberal Synagogue as well, and our own musicians will be performing. And it will really allow us a moment of reflection, connecting to Yom HaShoah that happens just 10 days before. So there are many more things. Ask us about anything. And remember to say hello to someone that you don't recognize. That way we keep building community. But we finish on page 30. And major thanks to our tech team, our sound engineers tonight, but also to our band for staying poised throughout. Yevarechecha. Yesher koach. Let's go straight to Kiddush. Shabbat Shalom to those of you who are at home. Wishing you a good, peaceful Shabbat and preparation for Passover, and maybe see you here.